Oh, hey, everybody, we're back. This is part two. We're going to talk about Quadrophenia some more. We covered the whole album in our first video, so now we're going to do a second video. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Welcome back. Hey, I forgot to tell you, I said I wasn't going to give a present to every guest I have, but I got one for you,
Oh, sweet.
made by my mother-in-law.
Oh, nice.
You get a Who face mask, bro.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
I made sure it's got Entwistle in there for you. I'm not going to touch it.
All right.
But yeah, got directions in there. I'll mail that to you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I got lots of Who face masks.
Yeah, I saw a picture the other day down the beach.
Maximum PPE.
Yeah, right.
Oh, who excited
about now?
What?
The things we can get excited about now.
Yeah. I'm really bummed out that the Who had to cancel their Cincinnati concert.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest bummer to me of all time.
Yeah, I feel bad for. Yeah, I think the band, that was going to help give them some, not closure, but just, maybe put a Band-Aid on some wounds and, the city itself and, yeah, brutal.
Yeah, brutal. But, hopefully we'll be able to talk about that at some point. Yeah. So we talked about the album Quadrophenia, but we have some different versions of Quadrophenia that have come out since then. Like I said, I was able to go see the Who in 1996 when they came back and did it. They had a huge band at Madison Square Garden. Jeff Whitehorn was on guitar. When they decided to take it on the road, they got Roger made a narrator film, so they didn't have to have a live narrator. They still had people playing parts of the Ace Face and the Godfather and all that. And after listening to those, doing a couple review of those, I prefer 2012, 2013 to those.
Yeah.
Not the bonus songs. I like the bonus songs from 97 more. But the Quadrophenia I dig more because of they don't have any guest stars. It's just the band doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's I had the 96 show on DVD. I still have it somewhere, but I think it came out with that Tommy and Quadrophenia box set DVD or whatever. And I grew up listening to that. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And I have I definitely listened to that 96 show a lot and watched it. But yeah, I think the 2012 version I enjoyed more. It didn't have all the fluff and stuff. Like, just let the band be the band, and they just let them do what they do.
And they did, and it was good. And they did those Keith and John tributes, which were great every night.
Yeah.
And you said, "I'm jealous of this." You got to see this thing live. I know I tried to. I didn't get the chance to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. Yeah. So I don't know how it worked out. I think it was like a Monday show or Sunday show or whatever. And my weekends are different. I'm off Mondays, Tuesdays usually. So, just managed to snag a ticket to go see him at the Lincoln Center up in New York City, and with the New York Philharmonic, and Alfie Boe and Pete Townshend and Billy Idol. Just a really cool show. Grew up, playing trumpet and French horn and classical music and all that stuff. So to see, an incredibly well written rock album that translates to classical music seamlessly, it was quite an experience. Went up with my mom and I went up with my wife. My wife, I think I guess she saw like Roger solo with me once, and I think she saw the Who with me once at National Harbor. So, but this was like, here's my favorite album from my favorite band in a new way that I haven't seen it. I'd listened to the studio version, but classical music's so tough on record. To see it live, though, you feel it, and it was a great experience through and through. And Townsend looked like he was having fun, which, he has good days and bad days as far as how he's feeling, and that was a very good day. You could tell he's just excited and pumped up to be there, and that's that always just makes you smile when he's happy.
It's another thing that's relatable about him, though, too.
Oh yeah, no, there's you get what you see. You know, what you see is what you get, and that's I appreciate that. You know, there's no like if he's having a shit day, he's having a shit day, and I guess it was. I got a funny story about it. I don't know. I guess it was '07, '06 or '07. They played Hershey. It was inside, and
Were the Pretenders opening?
I maybe I think so. I just remember they had like an awful night with audio, a couple like feedbacks, and Roger like getting blasted in his his in ear monitors, and Townsend was having an issue with the guitar, and I remember like him literally pushing somebody off the stage in the back, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" That like 60-some-year-old guy just pushed somebody like onto the ground or off the stage. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, "Oh my god!" Um, nothing would make me happier to watch that guy smash a guitar in life, but I thought it was going to happen that night.
If it's the same one that I went to, I've only had 2 bad Who shows, and that was one of them. Yeah. And it was all down to personal experience, personal choices that I had made that caused me to have a bad night. So I can't blame the band for that. But Hershey was definitely one of them. And the other one was that National Harbor show. I couldn't have helped that, but I had a real tough couple weeks there. The Who started it. The Queen show I went with Adam Lambert in the middle was terrible, and then Roger Waters brought me out of it. It was like all within 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I didn't do the Adam Lambert one. I love Queen, but I can't get into Adam Lambert for some reason.
I tried. I saw them with
Paul Rogers.
Sorry, digression. I saw them with Bad Company guy.
Paul Rogers, yeah.
Paul Rogers, and it was more exciting.
I saw that show in DC.
So right, yeah.
Great show.
Empty house though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, empty house.
Surprisingly.
And All Right Now was the highlight, which was weird for me. And 39.
Yeah.
We're digressing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep it to the Quadrophenia shows. Okay, so I put out some links there. Did you ever take a look at those links I put in there? The Heart Pearl Jam.
I flipped through them the other day, and I was like, yeah, I know that one. I know that one. I know that one. Let me pull it up real quick.
Any thoughts or anything? I mean, Heart.
I've seen Heart probably 4 or 5 times, or maybe Heart or Nancy Wilson solo. I've seen them a bunch of times. And she's one of the few that I'm like, all right, if she wants to do Love, Rain, or Me, go for it. Or anything she wants to do, she can do. I love her to death, and she crushes it every time. So yeah, anytime she wants to do a Who song, and I've seen her do it a couple of times, love it. She's perfect.
That Dreamboat Annie concert version of Love, Rain, or Me is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'll link it here if I do that. Pearl Jam Rock Honors. The whole Rock Honors thing was very weird.
Yeah.
But Pearl Jam, I thought, was the highlight of it.
They always do a good job. Yeah, I feel like Jack Black or Tenacious D did like a little medley.
I don't like their.
Somebody did something.
I love their Who medley. I love Tenacious D. I don't like their Who medley though.
Yeah, no, it's a little tough. But yeah, Pearl Jam did a great job on that show, and I saw Pearl Jam at Baltimore Arena when they came around, however many years ago at this point. And they it was my first Pearl Jam show, and I knew them, but I'd never done a deep dive on them or worked my way through their catalog. But my friend had an extra ticket. I was like, yeah, I'll go. I walked out of that show a huge fan, but 3/4 of the way through the set, they kind of bring all the lights down and you just hear this piano hit a note. And I was like, no fucking way. Are they really going to do Love, Rain, or Me right now? And they did it. And I didn't bawl my eyes out, but I was as close as I could get.
Right.
I mean, Eddie's great, and he goes for it just like Roger. Is he always going to hit the note? Maybe not, but he nails it. He drops the hammer on it. It was really, really good.
And the thing with Eddie Vedder is I'm not the hugest Pearl Jam fan.
Yeah.
But I know he's the hugest Who fan on my side of Who fandom. So when he does stuff like that, I really feel it, and I really do like it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've heard My Morning Jacket with him do a quick one while he's away.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgustingly good.
Yeah. No, they that's not an easy one to do either. Like,
Yeah. And that guy is another huge Who fan. Was it Jim James? Is that his name?
I think so. Yeah.
And this Betty Lavette cover from the Kennedy Center Honors. I don't know if you've seen that. That's pretty nice. It brought a cheer to Pete's eye, at least.
Yeah. She. I'm not the biggest fan of her styling, like just her phrasing.
Right.
But for as far as like emotional and touching into that, yeah, she does a good job with that song. And it's funny, I actually saw her. I saw her at Rams Head in Annapolis. I went to go see the opening band, St. Paul and the Broken Bones, who I just absolutely adore. And I was like, I got to go see those guys. They're at the time, they're just like my favorite band. They still are. Or like new band, I should say. But I was like, all right, well, Betty Lavette's going to be headlining, so I'll stick around and see that too. And she did love Rain on Me that night as well too. And that's a really, that venue is pretty intimate.
Which venue was it?
Rams Head in Annapolis.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Nils Lofgren there, yeah.
Yeah, and you could have dropped a pin while she was singing. It was, she crushed it. So, just not my favorite vocal styling or phrasing, I guess. But she gets the point across as far as the emotional part of it.
Word. I sent you a link to the Hyde Park 96.
Yep.
Did you take a look at that? I went to...
Yeah.
That was
a bunch.
Huh?
I've watched that one. I watched that a bunch before. That's a good one.
I was no more hyped for that than anything because I never thought I was going to get a chance to see the Who again.
Yeah.
And they were working on we're going to do Quadrophenia here, and if it goes well, maybe we'll go to New York.
Yeah.
And, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
they know what they're doing. But what's his name comes out and like just introduces them and just the crowd. I mean, just the sea of people. I don't know. I can't ever imagine doing any of that. Like taking on that album, and I mean, I guess it's easier if you wrote it. It's stuff you know how to play, but it's just I can't.
Well, I think he had something to prove. I think he's he comes off of doing the Tommy Broadway.
Yeah.
Everyone's Tommy, and that thing they call the Tommy movie, and which, by the way, some of Quadrophenia gets dangerously close to that synthesizer sound, and I wanted to mention that before, but you go a bit more in the sense and you're in Tommy movie territory, which I'm not into.
Yeah,
but it was cool. I never knew if they did the full thing there. And any copy I can find, it doesn't look like full Quadrophenia. So I don't know if they did the full album there.
Yeah, I don't know if they did either. I know they definitely. Yeah. I guess I haven't watched it in a while, but I mean I've seen it, but I have to. That'd be interesting to find out what exactly the set list was for that day.
Well, man, I think we did. I think we covered it. Did you have any other Quadrophenia stuff we haven't covered?
It's funny. I watched the movie for the first time in probably 10 years the other day. I still don't enjoy it. It just doesn't do anything for me. I feel like it takes forever. I mean, the first 3/4 of the movie is like the first half of the album, and then they just kind of like whoop, like I don't know. It just
well, they have to spell things out for you from the album that you don't get just from listening to the album.
Yeah, no, it's. I remember watching it back in the day just because it helped fill in some holes, and you kind of see, it helps you explain everything a little bit. But yeah, it's just not something I'm going to sit down and watch 2 hours of. It just, it's brutal for me.
And you can watch, those '60s, gangster Cray brother type movie things, and get that vibe. That doesn't take so long. But the movie itself was a huge hit in England.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had this poster for forever.
Yeah.
But it's just like any youth culture movie. If you're into it and you love it, you're going to be nostalgic for it and say how awesome and great it is. But if you're not, it's like, okay, well, it's not really made for me.
Yeah. There's like the one scene that they're at a party early in the movie, and uh, Jimmy's making out with a girl or whatever, and then he like gets up to like change music and puts on My Generation. I think it was. Uh, I relate to that for sure. And I know you kind of feel the same way. It's just like shoving the Who down people's throat sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like, come on, just give it a shot. They're so much better than everybody else. A guy I used to work with was like the biggest Led Zeppelin fan in the world, and I'm like, dude, come on, like, they're not that good. Like, just, I remember reading a stat somewhere. I have to look it up again, but I think like the Who played more live shows between like 65 and 69 than like Zeppelin played in their entire career or something. And it's just, I don't know. It's just like, this is the album I want, Quadrophenia is the album I want people to like listen to, just spend, the time it takes to listen to the album, just listen to it and like, tell me that's not the best band. So,
my brother used to go to all these jam shows, and he still does when they have them. And one time he took Quadrophenia with him and his friends, and it was a 2-hour, 3-hour road trip. So they listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they really liked it, but their biggest note was it's relentless. There's no let down. There's no slowing down.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
You know what I mean? That's the point.
Yeah, no, it's, I don't know. The album just, I mean, and like Pete can do everything, which is nice. And, some of the other albums do have the, you're kind of up and down and do everything. But yeah, this one, it's like an AC/DC album or something. It's just 100 miles an hour the whole time. We're going to hit you over the head with it and take it or leave it. And it's just perfection for me.
What do you think about soundtrack remixes from the movie?
I don't know. It's whatever version you hear of something first is, that's just it's tough to shake that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Live It Leads is, that's the first live version of some of the things I listen to. So like, I don't care for Isle of Wight as much, so, when I've heard the soundtracks and all that stuff, I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. But it doesn't like check the box for me or like hit the little button in my brain that makes me happy. Like I always revert back to, some of that stuff you heard first. So,
right.
Yeah. The album, the straight up album's the one I enjoy the most. Pete's demos though, when I listened to those not that long ago, I was just blown away. And even like, just his version of The Real Me is incredible. I love that.
And that's real like low key, his version of it.
Yeah. His version's real low key, and it kind of has like this weird synth start. But it just like he had all the pieces except John and Keith in it. You know what I mean? Like it was all there. He just kind of like, you could tell he's like, hey guys, can you help me out here? Like, can you add your thing to it? And just, it was almost fully formed idea. He just needed the engine behind it. And that's the kind of stuff that's when I like a demo. I don't like demos when they're shitty. Like it was a song all the way done. It just needed he needed to plug it in to Keith and John.
Well, man, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Are we going to do it a little later with another Who album?
Yeah. You can pick anyone. Yeah. I'll be good.
Okay. Well, we'll think of something. Maybe we'll get into everyone's favorite album, Endless Wire.
Yeah. That'd be fun to do, though, because people...
Well, me and you like
it on it, but it's good.
Me and you like it a lot, so maybe that would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
See ya.
All right. Take it easy.